certainly hype. Triumph come through in spades once again. They took down Cloud9 16-13 yesterday. They didn't quite net the win versus 100 Thieves, but they did tie them 15-15. So still a huge result here for Triumph, who continue to make waves in their group. The fans are going crazy too. There you have it. All right, gentlemen. What do we make of that match? I mean, Nuke, 100 Thieves looking mortal. They're hanging from the gantries right now. What's going on with this? Maniac, kick us off.
Yeah, guys, I just wanted to tell you a story, right? I was listening to the comms as I always do, and at the beginning I was in 100 Thieves, and it looked like everything was under control. They were calm and collected. They win 12-3. At this point, I'm thinking, that's it, job done, thinking about the next match. Then they start losing rounds. It's getting closer, and I think, okay, how about Triumph? Because we know these teams when it's about time to just convert the game, and I switched to their team speak, and it was full chaos. I don't think I've ever heard so many people screaming at the same time. Every information was a scream, and I don't even know how they actually managed to win these last 3 rounds, because I probably lost 5 years of my life in terms of stress and adrenaline. I lost time life listening to these people. It is so insane the amount of energy they put in the comm, but hey, they gave the 15-15.
Before we get to you, Thorin, real quick, I'm told that we actually have an example of their team speak, so let's listen to that real quick, and then we can get in. We can keep going with this.
That's it.
The box, the big box.
No.
Okay,
Can you guys protect me?
Alan has a kit. Alan has a kit.
I have a. Give me door. Door. Holding door. Door. Let's go. This guy's a king, man.
GG Shakesula. My god.
Another god.
So untapped, of course.
Norwegian beast.
Alright, so
This
a bit
was
of hype going
This
into the
was
second
quiet
half there.
compared to what happened.
This is quiet, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it was.
This wasn't Furia level, you know. This wasn't where we're there. All right, Thorin, please, what did you take away from that match?
That actually ended up being a perfect clip, because one thing I wanted to say is people are going to see this result, and because they didn't complete the upset, people are going to go, who cares? It was just a game where, like you said, Thorin, 100 Thieves aren't super sick on Nuke, and you know what? In this scenario, they just ran it back on TT side. Anyone can get a roll gun on TT side. If you understand the economy in CSGO right now, I know Shad couldn't be here, Sponge, obviously one of the old Renegades boys, so I'll take his role for the usual rant. When they won that miracle pistol round on the CT side that started everything for them, where their guy had to defuse the bomb as basically everyone was being killed on his team, because nobody survived that round, they started the next round with like 2 orgs and a bunch of busted up farm assets that are barely any utility. There were 3 AKs on the side of the superior top 10 ranked team in the world. Now, immediately, that already could have been the end of the game, basically. That could have been an impossible round. Then, even on that next round, which they had to win from an economic disadvantage, they barely had anyone alive. Again, they had a weak buy for the next round. Again, there was AKs for the T side. So, I want to stress how incredibly difficult this comeback was from Triumph. Even towards the end of this particular game, there were a bunch of situations with bomb plants, or situations where the guys from 100 Thieves initially outmaneuvered them on the map. But it was, again, fragging, it was clutch play. Like, I thought that play that Grim and Corey made, coming down towards the doors area from the height advantage, like, that was so well played, the way they naded and pushed out together. So, all the props to Triumph. Even though they only got the tie out of this, like, they did enough where I wouldn't have felt cheated at all if they won this map.
They certainly would have given us the performance, and 2 upsets would have been fantastic. But it is kind of the rule of thumb now that we just have to have some ties thrown in here as well. And this group hadn't had a tie yet, so I expect everything else to be wins and losses, because now we've got the quota met. But as far as this match is concerned, I think that was a fantastic performance from both teams. I mean, well, not from both teams. I mean, 100 Thieves should have been able to close that out, not living up to expectations there. And, well, now, I mean, it's left us kind of wondering where's the rest of this going to go, because right now we're still going to be getting into MIBR Gen.g, and I would like to start talking about that one, but we've got the group standings here.
Okay, so what do we know? What do we see? EG in a good position, 6 point. Depending on what Triumph do in the last game, I'm not exactly sure what the last game the last match of that group is going to be. It's going to be Triumph versus EG, because they could it be that Triumph could potentially end up first of that group? Am I making the math correctly in my head?
We haven't played against EG yet, so yeah, if they beat EG, then they would have potentially 2, and yeah, they would actually be first place. You're right.
Okay. We live in a world where Triumph could actually be first that group.
We do live in a world where they could live up to their names. There you go. That's how it works sometimes, Maniac. But now I think it's time to move on into our next and final match of the day, where we could have Gen.g. This is the one where we're actually split in terms of predictions between MIBR and Gen.g. It's almost half-half between Des, Talon, everybody out there right now. And so I'm very curious now to hear the points that are going to be made here, gentlemen, quickly, about why MIBR are going to take this one. And I don't have it. Maniac, did you predict MIBR? I think you did, right?
I did indeed.
Right. Why are MIBR going to take this?
To make it quick, I do believe that Daps, as an in-game leader, likes to predict his opponent. He likes to have a system in how he approaches the game. He likes to know what's going to happen. He plays Counter-Strike like a chessboard, which I can understand, I can respect. But MIBR, they don't abide by these rules. And I'm looking at the results of these two particular matchups recently. MIBR have a very clear advantage. 3 BO3s, 3 times won by MIBR. I think in terms of styles, it favors MIBR going into this game. And even if pound for pound, lineup-wise, you could give potentially Gen.g an advantage, I just think the style of MIBR is too hard to handle for Gen.g.
So Thor, now as we get into the pick and bans, where are we going to look for Gen.g to come up with the goods here on this map?
I mean, that's the interesting thing. Like, I think we could definitely end up on Train. If they choose to, they could opt into an Inferno. I think these are probably the most likely maps overall. Like, they both like Mirage. The interesting thing here is they could essentially just agree to a handshake and just say, let's play one of these maps. So I know Gen.g love Mirage. It depends how much the guys from MIBR feel about that. I feel as though they've been going away from that. So I think Train's a very real possibility. Obviously, they've played Inferno a million times, so I'm thinking one of those two. At the moment, it's looking good. So it's going to end on MIBR with the last one here. So let's see what they get left with as their choices. Okay, so they've got Train and Mirage. I think they're going to go for Train, personally. Like, I think Mirage is just, it's too much conflict for Gen.g. I think the better pick is, as we see here, it's going to be Train for the guys from MIBR. They're trying to recreate the magic of old.
Okay, Train. MIBR, well, I don't think it plays well into my narrative of MIBR being super aggressive, super crazy, and surprising Daps. I think by essence, Train is a map in which you have to respect some sort of system. I mean, only Kerrigan, as we pointed out earlier today, only Kerrigan can really just run out team mid and go through smokes and create some insane space. So, to my point, MIBR on Train, they're going to have some sort of system to surprise Daps.
This is going to be the question, whether or not they have the goods to come up with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results here, seeing as how, Thorin's got Gen.g, you've got MIBR, handshake there. I see it, Maniac, you're off camera, but I saw it. We're going to get into the match very soon. Now, we need to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be able to hand it over to Lawners and Scrawny, so you don't want to miss it. This is going to be a massive one. Gen.g versus MIBR right after this.
For this team. We don't know where they're going, we don't know what maps they're prioritizing. We're about to learn with the rest of the world here, so I think that's fair enough.
People probably underestimate how dominant they were. I'm sure statistically they probably have all the records. I don't think they'll ever be beaten, quite frankly.
NIP were just an amazingly fun team to watch.
It's going to be really interesting in the beginning. It's a new lineup, a lot of the younger players, less experienced players than I'm used to working with in the past.
Well, now we have to see what this new NIP roster without any of the legends on it, what they're going to be capable of. Whenever you got to cast NIP back in the day, it felt like you won the lottery because you're always going to get just one of the very best games.
Almost impossibly good. I mean, it legitimately is the case that when they would win those 87 maps in a row, and what people forget is that was just like the first, I think, 6 months or something.
Because on every level, NIP could dominate, and they're similar to some of the teams that we have today, where there's just so much raw talent on the team.
It's kind of like Astralis when they were in their prime. Yes, someone could beat them, But that was actually the unlikely scenario, and in fact, you knew if they played that team in the next turn, they'd just go and get revenge immediately and be right back on top.
And they had a bit of that hive mind Swedish element, the way that Fnatic had it in 2015, somewhere around there, right? It wasn't like there was a fixed strategy to it. It was just, oh, look, Get Right got 3 kills because he somehow managed to sneak all the way onto the opposite B site and then backstabbed everybody. And you could expect that every game. It was the meme where, oh, where's Get Right? Look behind you, because that's where he is. And 9 times out of 10, he was shooting you in the back. Forrest, he could just do it all. He was a god. Freiberg, fearless. He had the trust of his teammates. The king of banana, coming up with the big plays, opening up bomb sites, taking over entire sections of the map. But what was great about that team was that you could always tell that it was like a brotherhood in that team.
In terms of how important NIP's era was, so I actually thought it really established CSGO as a game, because at the time it was considered an inferior game to CS Source and CS 1.6, and most people thought it was a joke. So I think actually to have some big legends from 1.6 come in, dominate the game immediately, therefore showing there's something to this game. There's a reason it's not just a different team winning every event. I think it actually legitimized the game, and then, even though they were very, very dominant, they were only dominant for the first couple of years. So then finally, once the game had built its way up, then other people got their chance and we got to have more of an open scene.
They were such a special team, and they had that magic around them.
You almost can't overstate how dominant they were.
Now, Gen.g is next up today, and last time you guys faced it was during Flashpoint. You guys certainly came out on top, but what do you make of the current Gen.g, and how do you see how they've improved? Because they are starting to impress us a lot recently.
Yeah, Gen.g is a very good team. They managed to win the last Road to Rio tournament. They won DreamHack and High as well, so Debs is definitely someone who can create winning teams, and they have been playing super well lately. I think on the last series we played against them, we had the upper hand, but in between those tournaments and now, we think we played a lot of practice against them, and we could see that they were improving, getting better. So I expect a very studied game, expect a very difficult game, and hopefully we're going to be able to win this one and reach the group in the first position.
Fallen is correct. The last time they matched up, MIBR did get the best of them, and more particularly also on Train. It was 16-12 back at Flashpoint, the 1st of April 2020. We've got the Betway odds favoring MIBR for the moment, but as Fallen identified, he sees them getting better and better, and I think that's the case here at Blast as well. Gen.g just keep looking better and better.
Some kind words from Fallen. You know, Dabs can build a winning team. But for MIBR, they're not shy to winning or playing slightly better recently. I don't want to overhype it. It just feels like MIBR are absolutely capable of taking this match is all I'm trying to say. Predicted them for the win. I think it'll be a tight match. But we, as you mentioned, know that Gen.g do like a little bit of Train as well. So when we get into this, it should be tight. I mean, I thought the last match, we thought the last 2 matches weren't supposed to be tight, by the way the first half went. Some weird voodoo magic going on today where teams are not able to close out after having stellar starts. I don't know if that'll be a problem in this game, but I was anticipating a tight scoreline with tighter sides.
Well, time to find out, folks. Final map of the North American Blast action coming at you hot. Pistol underway. We've got Gen.g over to the T side, and what we've seen from them as of late has been, some meticulous, well-thought-through T sides at times. They like to spread out, get their map control, calculate their executes, and then come in as a team. So, time to find out if MIBR can handle that heat. Right now, it's KNG off of the top of Ivy Train, and he's gotten himself 2 frags, but Daps brings it back. Man advantage here for Gen.g till KNG cuts it down. He's killed everyone in the pistol. It's only Automatic, and he knows where he is, because Automatic is just thunderfooting his way all the way to the B bomb site. Hell, he's going to find a free plant if he goes to the opposite side.
Yeah, he's worried about how close KNG was. Yeah, this makes things a bit scarier for Automatic. There's already a big flank being worked on.
Automatic's ready to fight him now, tapping him back a little bit more. But here's Fur, blindside from the top rope. MIBR going to win this pistol, but I think it all falls on KNG.
Yeah, there's no other man to point out in this pistol round. KNG does it all and more with that 4 frag outside, and it's definitely a solid attempt there for Gen.g on the outside strat, and it was really just one line of defense that changed the whole game. But look at how KNG plays the top of this train. Really well done here to find a number of different fights, and once he's backed into the corner, I mean, I guess that's when he shines the hardest. Last 2 frags coming out of Ivy, and that's all that was needed from him.
AK's up. Another one of the results, again, this is one of those moments where bomb plant and a few kills. Look at the solid rifle here from Gen.g. Now, it's not quite as solid as having an AWP, which is what KNG can afford, probably because of the kill bonus. Yeah, if it wasn't for his 4 frags, he wouldn't have the big green. But it's in play, so... Let's see what happens now. Automatic, he gets the first headshot instantly versus Taco, but that op already finding impact. KNG, a consistency so far for the Brazilians.
Yeah, don't think they were expecting to see that op so soon. Oh my god. An op and a scout in the same round for the winning team in the second. DRK up top, and there's a couple of targets just ahead. How confident and calm will he be?
Keep his eyes over towards T-Con 2, but Ivy is where there's the double peek. He gets one, Bentet trades it. Well, that bomb needs to be picked up before Gen.g can really commit to anything at all, and their commitment wavers for just a moment. Bentet actually backs up a bit, goes for the deep molly on Ivy. Now we have Kusta throwing the utility, and Daps seems to be the space creation over towards the B site. If he jumps down and tries to challenge KNG, remember, they know this op is here. So Bentet's going to have to sell it. Bentet's going to have to hit him hard, and Fur finds the op angle. KNG confirms that Daps is down ramp, tries to post up in order to block him off, and now that Daps takes the ladder upwards, using the verticality to his strength, a little spray down towards the Z is a good bit of damage. Kusta clutch, the 1 versus 3. KNG's already on his close right, and Fallen has such little health, but the Opper making the difference yet again. KNG, heavy impact to start this map.
Baiting out one shot there, damn near wins the round for Kusta, and we know he has the clutch genes, the potential. We've seen it happen so many times. But right now, KNG, he's playing just well enough. He allows the bomb to go down, but enormous impact on that pistol, and of course the denial of the clutch attempts from Kusta. And overall, MIBR still looking in control of things, and for all of this effort, they'll be rewarded with Gen.g on pistols and be able to scramble together some good economy. It's always a danger to buy a op when you're going up against weaker guns, just because if you give that up or if it gets rushed down, well, the other team, in a zero-sum game, the other team ends up with all that strength. But so far, they've done a good job of holding on to it.
Smoking a molly. Some of the most minimal utilities you can go with on a B hit, but it could always be enough. Smoke down the ramp, of course, molly for Z. It's a classic. It's not always successful, but it is consistent. They're going to be met by a Molotov just as they decide to jump down. They actually move past with minimal losses, and I think it's because they don't use those utilities. This is an unannounced hit, but those other players are going to lose a little bit of HP. They do throw the molly onto Z, and it works out because Kusta catches a kill off of it. Man advantage even for Gen.g. Kusta, he's going to be wielding the M4. And he sees the trajectory of the utility, so he's looking for a frag here, but his teammates are falling all around him. Fallen with the scout shots from hell. Som, however, picks up the M4 from the corpse, and he walks into KNG, who was ready and waiting.
This is the cool part about Gen.g, is the fact that they have the strats, but they don't always use them. And of course, if you do a contact play, that means that you keep a lot of grenades for that post plant. You can make rounds like that look competitive, highly competitive in fact. They were a moment away from, and a couple of frags away from getting kills and winning the round. It was super close. Som's reaction, I feel like I've seen that exact reaction in a photo somewhere on the internet.
You know, he was thinking to himself that when he came on that 1v3 flank, that he was going to go big. He was ready for it, prepped to step up to the plate, but KNG a little wiser. So here we go. First real gun round of the map. Gen.g with an op on all the world, and MIBR decide to go for the 4-man outer default.
It feels like we're going to get the King Vito map, doesn't it? He's looking like
a little bit.
He's going to give us that all-star, you know, Immortals, KNG performance potentially. He's looking super solid. There's an opening op kill for him down Ivy. Fallen coming through the push, and ooh, Vented. I mean, yeah, he was basically watching TV with how unaware he was of that push.
Yeah, just calling out the hole in the setup here from Gen.g. Kusta was slowly working over, but didn't want to give away the audio cue. So sure enough, 2 CTs peek into the gap in the hold, and then now Fallen looking to lock it down from the actual B bomb site. But Daps has a chance at bringing it back. Automatic still swinging the op. Some softened CTs here. Look, he sees the feet. Daps 100% knows Taco's right there. Easy pickup, 2 versus 2. There's a flank from KNG though. And TRK, he can draw attention over towards Z. Automatic's not quite sure which way to look, and KNG with the sidearm out, he's just going to try to blindside the counter offer. Does it well. Daps looking for the 4-piece drop by TRK, and MIBR, again, giving Gen.g a hope, only to rip it away.
No, seriously, they're giving him that hope, and yeah, it's so damn close. I mean, TRK dies on the flank. The whole situation gets reset in the 1v1. It becomes a game of psychology, becomes a game of delaying, and it becomes more of an objective-based round as opposed to an elimination-based round. And yeah, the kills come through to make it look sketchy for MIBR, but once again, on time. Oh, it's so full right now. Yeah, we've got a lot of MIBR fans. We know the turnout is always crazy, man, for these Brazilian teams in their matchups. Shout out to Wallace, peaking over 200K on his stream in MIBR versus Furious. Astronomical numbers that we're all proud to, to be able to see.
That's like 10 times the amount of Ninja.
Yeah, it's like as a couple of ninjas, man.
Taco, scoped in, ready for it. Hits the shot, just doesn't get his frag. So double op setup from MIBR, gonna just peel itself a little bit back. You don't want to get flustered by the 5-man ramp hit or something wild like that, but Gen.g are a little wiser, alright? Their brains pulsate here in the 5th. They've still got tons of utility, and it looks like they're grouping up for an A execute. But TRK, he's gonna start making a proactive move. He's gonna start tucking himself into T-Con. And even if Gen.g decide to emphasize Ivy instead, well, there's so many players for MIBR here on the outer yard that they welcome them, but that's not the way it was supposed to go for the Brazilians. Fallen dying over on Ivy. Good thing for TRK that he can drop the bomb, and if he bests Bentet, then nobody's here to pick it back up. They are shut out of the A site, except for Som. He has managed to continue on and worked along the old bomb to get closer towards the site. Kusta, last man up. He at least gets back possession of the bomb, but there's so many players ahead of him. Scope included for Taco. 5-0 to start. Brazilians on fire.
Hey, yeah, instantly on fire. Quick as can be. Hell of a round there from TRK to lock it down. There was even line of sight from behind him to assist in that hold. But look how he plays this angle. Just beautiful. 2 headshots. Bentet, you know he's always good for the trade. Not today, my friend. TRK is looking too sharp.
Relegated into the pistols. Little couple pieces of utility looking kind of worse for wear. But we've seen Gen.g still create openings with stuff like this. Remember, not long ago, they didn't even use their grenades to get onto that B site. It's going to be heavy emphasis on Ivy. Fallen fell last round. Let's see if he can lock down the defensive line. He's a little bit concerned over towards T-Con, but I mean, there's other players to worry about that, Fallen. Your challenge is here.
Looking for the jump. There's going to be all kinds of tees. I mean, he always grabs one in this spot, right? Oh, it's just a straight up crouch peek out front. He's happy about that. Doesn't have to adjust whatsoever. Throws his own utility as well. Fallen, he's no man-child. He won't ask for help. Falling back. Hitting the flick. Bomb dropped in plain sight. Player crossing old bomb. That's not going to be a surprise to him, though.
Ooh, a little awkward for a moment, but Fur gets into the middle of it all. It's like Fur just saying, you know, whether Fallen asks for help or not. Fur's got some stats to pad. So, looking for Kusta now? Ooh, okay, Fur, there's your revenge, my friend. Dirty Deagle from Kenneth to take it back a little bit, but MIBR still closing with the round, never even in question. 6-0 spree on this CT side.
Yeah, it's up to Gen.g to figure out when they want to go live. Yeah, for 6 rounds into this game, MIBR definitely got their tri-pants on, and although they're scraping by on some of these rifle rounds, it's just starting to already just mount just a competent CT side no matter what happens in the second half. I mean, T-side seem cursed today, but you can expect it's not a real thing, right? We don't believe in horoscopes, right?
Just horror stories. Som? Ooh, doesn't regain vision fast enough.
Flash. Yeah.
Is that what happened?
It would have been a perfect push. Yeah, his team flash. He got team flash maybe when he was supposed to turn, or the flash dropped the wrong angle, and TRK was blind. That would have been a free kill. It was the correct tactic. Bad execution.
They'll execute again down to the B site. Taco, front side of the schools. Yo, Automatic's gonna stop him. K&G already revealing his presence. This op has been deadly so far. He's just gonna keep crouching. In fact, K&G hasn't even died yet. Let that sink in. 11 and
seriously.
0. 12 and 0. Bomb now up to Daps. Double sniper on the other side between K&G and Fallen. And K&G's just going to look to stick this. It's down to the 2-second mark. And Daps, well, he dies on the peak. Easy cover, easy frags, easy 7 rounds.
Too many times we see teams pull the trigger too quickly when they're covering with the scope, but Fallen, yeah, the experience shines. You just make sure not to fall for that double peek, or the delayed peek, excuse me, so it's not biting on that shoulder peek whatsoever. And Dabs does a pretty good job of trying to bait it out, you know, gives a good amount of vision there to lure a shot in. But MIBR, they win another close one. As you pointed out, King Vito, no deaths so far. And another rifle round attempt here for Gen.g.
They got the opening pick as well. Come on. This is a good look for the T's. Trying to work their way closer to the outer yard. Bentet's got Fur completely blind. Nice utility usage here from Daps. And Fallen, well, he's been tagged up early. K&G can't see a thing. He's going to try to take to the top of office, but then decides to actually slip back into Z. Trajectory of the flash could tell the terrorists where he's at, and they're going to find their plant here. I'm curious to see if MIBR just want to cut their losses. I mean, they've got the economy behind them, but, you know, they'll be better off because they know the chance is so slim.
Yeah, 2 ops to save. They don't want to give them up, and yeah, there's just not much chance. They weren't even in good spots to hold. You got to rely on Fur and TRK, 2 forward A aggressive players, to stop or put a stutter at least in a outside exact like the one we just saw. So it'll look like a save from here. Scary for Gen.g to know the double ops still remain, and the rounds have been somewhat close. So despite this being a 7-0. Oh, Automatic. Wow, I didn't even realize. Wow, he just dies there when he could have been anywhere. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's a gun down. At least they retain the op. It's a good amount of money that they lost off of that. And the revives will come in. But this is a kind of a good situation for Gen.g, where even though MIBR have won so many rounds, it's not like they have 16k on each player. Then Beldings too. Knockout.
Just Automatic just really didn't see that coming, man. He's just tucked into T-Con.
I didn't either, yeah.
Thinks it's all good. Look, guys, we survived. Everybody's... No.
Oh, yeah.
Done and dusted.
So...
MIBR going to buy back,
but
of course.
Yeah, this is...
Go on.
Yeah. But yeah, like, because these rounds were close, it doesn't really matter that MIBR have 7 rounds. This is the situation where the comeback mechanic of the new economy comes into full effect. When a team is low on the CT side, Gen.g win 1 more round, they suddenly have a better economy every single round for the comeback, with the 5-round plus loss streak. So this could be one hell of an important round for them to win. TRK, inside of a Molotov, only 20 damage. Does have to forfeit a smoke. And, oh, automatic. Well, that's a big kill on Taco. Good night, my friend. That's all your cilantro on the floor.
Fallen. Looking to maybe lap it up. Gets up into the top shelf and holds. Hears the footsteps moving around. Sees that nobody's actually worked down. But because he scopes and doesn't feel comfortable, he doesn't want to give away the second death here for MIBR. I would say very tempered expectations on that peak. Good for him to fall back. You can see them now actively trying to remove him from up close. K&G, alternatively, posts further back, and he is just waiting for someone to offer him a shot.
We've seen some good executions here from Gen.g. Are they committing to these nades? Looks like no. It's an outside fake with a commitment downstairs, and the ops, they'll be scared. If they don't kill him soon enough, Bentech could be a huge thorn in the side of the rotations.
In the meanwhile, TRK is going to open up shop outer and even double up this office position, working out well. Saw him, the bomb carrier is going to try to cross over to the site, but he's losing all his teammates and his own life. Bentech comes in from behind, looking to rack up the cost, but my God, Fallen. Oh, look at poor Bentech. He's deflated after that one. Give the guy a frag, man. Give the guy a chance.
Yeah, he does his job, stays alive in the B site, holds 2 rotators that entire time. There's only 3 outside, and there was a 5v4 advantage. So, sorry, there was only 2 players outside, TRK and K&G, or TRK and somebody else, excuse me. And TRK lights him up. 2 kills again. He's having one hell of a map. And, yeah, that was a critical round for Gen.g to win. They buy down to 0, and they'll attempt to come back into this. But that's another very clean round, or much more clean round, I should say, for MIBR. And we are still on when will K&G die alert. He still has not died in this match.
I appreciate you bringing that up, because I was about to. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but now that pressure's on your shoulders. It's,
See, we do not.
It's worth noting now because
kills. Some would call that unlucky, but we don't believe in horoscopes. Okay, none of these jinxes ever actually do anything. All right, dude, I'm gonna get in front of this. If he's gonna win this game without dying, he's gonna do that despite any jinxes. Okay, we don't have that kind of power. I think we want to believe that we do, but we don't.
Unless it's Cloud9 and comebacks, then it's very real.
That's true. In that case, it's 100% real.
Taco's going to be beneath this. K&G to be tested here. Blind. Has to fall off of the position, and Taco's looking to come up with a multi-kill. He grabs the double. K&G the headshot as he spots the cross. Bomb dropped in the open. Not going to get any better here for Gen.g unless Kusta's long flank. Oh, how did he pick that up?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Daps is able to plant in the end. Kusta gets 2 backs turned. K&G still alive, up in the open, as Fallen gives cover with the deagle. Maybe I'm crazy, but on my perspective, I thought that bomb was dropped like... Looking like the rest of NAC.
Yes. 15-0, dude. 15-0. What? It was one thing to not die, but
Still
also
going.
to be top frag and have 15 kills. Yeah.
They're going to try to pressure Taco off the B site. He's got cover to work with. And a well-placed Molotov. Not to mention Kusta very wide out in the open. Daps is going to best it, so there is a trade frag here. And there's space for Automatic to work his way forward. No more utility for Gen.g. Some grenades on the defense. But Automatic is inside of the smoke. And TRK is just on the other side of this. It begins to fade. TRK caught by it. Not ready whatsoever. KNG starting to answer. Claws this into the 2 versus 2 as Fur encroaches closer and closer, but doesn't want to make a noise till now. He commits. Clearing Automatic. KNG is dead, which means J&G can win a round. And even though they all die, they'll take it over the board. It's the second for the offense.
Well, it looks like the biggest win there is getting the death on K&G. They finally trumped him. They get the kill. It was 16-0 before he died. And even when they win the round, all 5 go down as well. K&G got 2 kills, I think, here. Did he get 3? He might have got 2 or 3 kills. I don't know. But finally, he's been stopped. The absolute madman. Who was that?
Gen.g's coach, I'm glad you asked, because I was thinking it. I'm going to go ahead and check their Wikipedia page, see what that gentleman's name is, and see if we should know. Oh, of course, it's Elma Putty.
Oh, it is? Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Yeah,
I didn't
Putty.
know. I guess I've never seen a photo of him, so, yeah. Okay, well, Elma Putty does not look too enthusiastic about what we've seen so far. And I think for good reason. Look at this. Gen.g off of a win. Their second round win. They've got 3 Galils, a scout, low grenades, the 1 AK on Mr. Daps.
All right, Gen.g, let's go. Double up. You've got the CTs against the ropes. You made the point about the economy already. Well, that still plays a factor here in the 12th. Smoke grenade to block off Ivy. All the actions delayed.
TRK's been good outside, sometimes good for 2 by himself. A good forward aggressive 8 player here. Big shoes to fill in that role. FNX for these kinds of players play up there. Taco up close. He'll snag a free one. Oh, 2-piece with the Falmus, and he wins his life. Doesn't have to fall back through the Molotov KNG. I set on the bomb. Last 2 players remaining. We'll try to throw everything in the kitchen sink at this problem and risk getting off to death.
Damn, he hits it. Oh, he hits it twice.
Oh,
he
shut
hits
up.
it
Shut the hell up. No way, man. This guy has dragon armor. Are you kidding me? He's 19-1. I wish he hadn't died. That would have been, I would have lost my mind.
Oh my god, all 3 shots. Taco, meanwhile, locking it down, but appreciate this third one. Just enjoy.
Even that flank, man.
Oh, poor Automatic got blasted, man. Alright, so we're still par for the course. Gen.g faltering at 2, not looking likely to win this round. I mean, put it this way. KNG has less deaths than Gen.g has rounds.
Yeah, that's a fact. 13 rounds in. Okay.
He's going to be tested and softened. There's a little bit of damage going down here on the outer yard. So a final attempt by Gen.g with just the pistols. Again, trying to get back on the guns. That's where they've had their best chances, but they've got to get there. And this is another one for the Brazilians. So a solid CT side yet again. You ask why? It's KNG's the answer.
Yeah, that, and also TRK. I mean, honestly, he's 8-7.
Yeah.
He's had 2 kill rounds outside though. Vape Nage, my friend, Vape Nage. But yeah, TRK. He's had 2 kill rounds outside on the rifle rounds that have absolutely, decided the course of the round. Him and Fur have been great outside along with KNG. But I feel like his impact, it's hurt, even though he's only 8-7.
I remember very clearly as well, Mohan, as we take a look at the quick Betway odds, MIBR 1.05. Yeah, they are in control of this show. But it's all you, my friend. You mentioned it early. You said, does this feel like we're going to get one of those KNG shows? And he had, what, 7 kills at that point? You know, it could have just been like a nice couple of strong starts. And he's followed through. So you had your finger on the pulse. And that heart has not stopped pumping blood. Watch, he's going to get another.
Yeah, I mean, he's like extremely likely he hits every shot at this point. Oh, could have covered Taco. What? I don't. Yeah. Oh, I guess he was called to another form of attention. Yeah, gets that kill instead. He'll come back. You know, KNG is the kind of player that goes to the gulag just to make sure he can get as many kills as he can. Okay.
Well, Fallen looking to swing the big cannon for the time being. Automatics pinned into his position. There is an inevitable flank. Fallen hits the headshot. Bentet's been revealed. KNG dies again. The unthinkable has happened. Here in the 14th round, Fallen into the 1 versus 2, and he is screwed. That flank doesn't come into fruition. Bentet, the difference maker here. He actually just doubled his frag count in that last round. And that's a big one to take, seeing as Gen.g can gun for a 4th now.
How dare they come for the king? But I mean, I guess like Stringer Bell said, I mean they didn't miss. So it was Stringer Bell, right? Anyways, get my wire references in order. Okay, last round, last attempt. Could still be a 12-3 here by MIBR. And Fur will be up to the plate. He hears a man inside of the ladder. If he throws a grenade, he knows they're coming for him. There's been some great DAP splashes. Well, actually, team flashes outside of DAP's here. DAP's actually one of the ones entering. Fur's in a very good spot. However, Bentet wins the duel versus them. And, oh my god, it's a fantastic round from Bentet with his double entry.
Yeah, looking to get another, but Fallen trying to take the eyes off of KNG. We've got to praise both of the offers here. Don't forget that while KNG is 21-3, Fallen is 16-5. And as Bentet dies with a valiant effort, we yet again get a T-side tonight with only 3 rounds. This is unbelievable scenes, but it's a convincing defense from the Brazilians. So Gen.g switching over, gonna try to claw this one back. Just look at the number of defuse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nearly half. Incredible stuff. We'll be back after the break. Don't you dare move a muscle.
You okay?
Reaper?
Hello, he's scaring me.
I got it! Let's go!
K&G 21-3 as MIBR take 12 rounds on the CT side, 7 of which by way of defuse, 5 of those where they had only 2 players left standing. So never did it boil down to the 1v1s, never did MIBR look too shaky on the defense, and now all of the questions and all of the pressure lie on the holds of Gen.g. Welcome, folks, to the final map of this broadcast. The North American Blast Showdown has actually given us a hell of a night of Counter-Strike. We've had wild CT sides and pretty flat offensive halves, so let's get into it. The Brazilians kicking it off deep towards B already with the numbers, with the aggression, and yet they then hold. They've got the utility to actually piece the execute, so the smokes go deep, the mollies follow suit, and Gen.g are gonna have to try and hold it back. Som, he moves inwards. He wants to be amidst the chaos. Can't manage a headshot, but automatic will. Only the one, however, as K&G bests him. A 4 versus 3 on the plant, but a hot flank from Kusta that could catch Taco off guard. Now they know he's here. And can Kusta do one better? He throws himself all the way down the lane. Fallen has him slain, and Bentet's been spotted. A 1 versus 1 here in round 16. Bentet's got the high ground. Fallen crosses. Drop to 12 health. A single bullet from Bentet will do the trick. A headshot for Fallen would clutch it back from the grasp of the Indonesian killer. Swoops in, defuse through. Gen.g take the second pistol.
Fallen didn't even realize that Bentet didn't have a kit. There was a chance that he could have pushed it to the limit, but Gen.g, they scored that pistol when they needed it the most. A nice 2K there. Like how Kusta worked around the site after he got his frag too. Small note, of course. Overall, entry's quite good. Som having a really rough game, and it seems like like we've all been there. You know, it seems like the confidence isn't there right now. Obviously, not the reason. Not the only reason that they got stomped that bad in the first half. The reason is all over on MIBR. I mean, you can go and look at it for yourself. 23 kills and 4 deaths is the reason that they got stomped so hard. He was the unstoppable force and the immovable object all in one. He just had to decide if he was going to be good or evil today, and I guess it was a little bit of both. It depends on which side of the fence that you stand on. Gen.g fan, MIBR fan. Yeah, he was creating emotions in that first half. It's the best way to put it. Him and Fallen, actually. You know what? Look at Fallen. 17 and 6, 114 ADR. And we all tout ADR as the more important than your straight up kills. So that tells a fuller story. He was doing a great job with the op as well. It was funny to see Taco pick up the op on some of those rounds, but you know, it was really all about K&G and Fallen's op.
Agreed entirely. Now they go from the big cannons to the hand cannons. 5 Desert Eagles from MIBR. Not a single piece of utility. No Kevlar. I mean, this is just basically a Deagle commercial. Also, a good chance to take note that Automatic, his picture doesn't do it justice, but he does have a great Gratisfaction mustache at the moment. Keep your eyes open for that one. Trying to, I would say, you know, fuel his inner Grat. Looking to find success on the op.
Oh yeah. Wait, he's got that in the player cam?
In the player cam, you'll see it. You can't miss it.
In the player cam? Okay, yeah. I mean, production could maybe... We could zoom in on automatic stash. Let's see. Why not, right? We have the technology, I think. Well, you're at. I mean, we could request the zooms and enhances. That's what I was told. I know.
Yeah,
Martin's
well, if that's
on
the
it
case,
right
I want to start
laughing
zooming
about
into
this. Let's zoom in
backgrounds of
everything.
bedrooms.
What else do you want to zoom in? Let's zoom into the Zoom calls.
I want to see what's on their
Let's
shelves.
get meta on the Zoom. Yeah, let's inspect elements on those shelves. Let's get a black light on them.
Actually, it could be a dangerous game.
That's good. That's true.
Desert Eagles starting to falter, as expected. I mean, they really just boiled down the time here to the 20 seconds. They'll get 2 kills, so it's not completely empty-handed, but then it will be. Automatic, gonna shut this one down. So moving along with a 7-round lead still, MIBR gonna buy in.
Every time they kill K.N.G, I just think, how dare you? How dare you ruin this historic stat line? Killing K.N.G, looking out for your own best interests. So MIBR 7 rounds to lead. And no ops in this round, just the AKs to go off of. It's technically a better buy than what Gen.g have to work with. Even nades, guns, everything, really. So lead, confidence, momentum, violence, they've got it all.
No ops though, and that was instrumental to MIBR's defense. So obviously no longer the same half, but that's what they do best, at least in the case of K.N.G. Although, being fair, it's not like he's limited to just the sniper. He's an all-around pretty damn good player. Dabs is looking for a flash perhaps, or just trying to hold this one dry. The better weapon bests him. 2 HP was the difference. That is unreal. Unfair, almost, in fact. Taco's patience pays off as Bentet walks right into the crosshair. K.N.G is going to be swept away, and then so is Fallen and Fur. This is a 1v2 attempt for Som. He's got 1 kill in the round already. Finished the first half, I think, with just literally 1 frag. I didn't even notice until you brought it up, but let's see if he can clutch. Yep, and they're going deep. Now TRK is going to have to double back towards ramp. He's already tapped the bomb once. Another kill for Som. He has the kit, but he fakes it, trying to get Taco to go for the peek, and Taco calls your bluff, kid. Som's going to do it once more, now worried about the ramp. Taco's still tucked, and Som plays himself. That's MIBR taking it, a 13th round on the board.
I actually cannot believe the result from Taco to not peek at all. I don't even know if he peeked on the second one. He must have peeked on the second one. No way he's that much of a chat that he didn't peek on the second one, right? I think he must have, but that was still really, really smartly done, I guess. And yeah, Som, it was kind of his one chance to get confidence back in this map. And I mean, he brings it close, he really does. Yeah, Taco takes a quick peek. Still waiting for that zoom, by the way. Let's see a little automatic stash whenever we get a chance. They're probably just clearing up the pixels and preparing the shot, probably drawing a border up for it and everything. I know it's only like
or wishing for commentators that weren't so fixated on mustaches.
That's all they care about. That's all they care about. It's a great round though for MIBR. I mean, they started off strong after the pistol. They lose a pistol, but that was a straight up good round from them on the C side.
Daps has cover, trying to retreat. There you go, Som. Nice! Yeah. A CZ frag as well for Daps. The pistol's paying off. I mean, listen, we've had CT sides and comebacks. That has been the formula for this evening's masterpiece of Counter-Strike. CT sides and comebacks. Gen.g's on the CT side. Gen.g's trying to make a comeback. That's the first 2 steps. Now we just need the third, and that's the follow-through.
For Aga? What's his, like, extended name? Like, the name, you know, Cold, but Cold Zera. Fur's had an extended name, right? He's, like, added
I thought it was just Fur.
Name, probably. Yeah, it is, but... thought he's added some letters at some point on Steam or somewhere else. You know, like,
Here, I got a question for you while we have a little time.
What's his extension? Yeah, go for it.
If there's one player in this server, I'm going to tell you a player's name, and you're going to have to try to tell me who it is, all right? The name is Hansel Ferdinand.
Oh, it's the Polish legend Bentet.
Of course. But I was trying to say maybe it was Ferdinand, for Ferdinand. I tried to trick you, but it didn't work. Here's the Deagle Zoom.
Okay.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. Oh, if he had another bullet? Looks like if he had another bullet, he probably would have got another kill there. Oh, MIBR, they keep Furs Galil, at least. And 1B exec looked good. Betway, odds fly in. Gen.g. Looking unlikely for Gen.g so far.
For now, 4 Glocks up, single Galil. Should have absolutely zero chance. So, we're just waiting for Gen.g to get 5 more rounds so that we can actually treat this as the comeback it's going to be. I'm not clairvoyant. However, I think we're onto something here. A 7th one for Gen.g, looking really easy as well. So MIBR, they're not even finding footwork when it comes to these lopsided rounds. They're going to need the guns, and those are far and few between for the time being. But here's one now. AK's purchased back up. I keep asking myself, man, the difference maker was the op on the defense. When are they going to crack it out?
Yeah, it depends if they want it. They have some weird protocols on the T side for who ops and when, and like K&G is like, I don't know if he prefers it over Fallen. Sometimes Fallen, like King of Train, he likes opping with it, so I'm not exactly sure who's meant to op on T side Train, but I think it is also up to their discretion based on what kind of Train T side they want to play. But maybe Fallen would have had an op on this round if he didn't have a Deagle Fur on the walkout. And they lose that trade. Kusta in flux between 2 positions. TRK, though, flies out, makes up for it. Som, he's chiming in.
Kusta's on the bomb site right in the middle of it all. Low HP, though, so he doesn't want to offer himself up despite K&G planting just beneath him. That grenade is excellent, and he actually gets the job done with the gun, but the bomb's planted in the meantime. So this kind of puts the play back into the hands of MIBR, although it all falls down onto Taco. He's lost TRK to the op. Oh, and the drop from Daps, too good. Gen.g taken 8th, a gun round with 3 survivors by way of retake. The second time they've had to defuse a bomb, and the second time they've done so successfully.
It's a new milestone for Gen.g. The first time they've won rifle versus rifle. On top of being able to eco MIBR, they went around outside as well to just list off the Steam achievements that they've accomplished so far on the CT side, and they're streaking on ecos here, the ecos in a row. But MIBR, they invest at least into the 1 rifle. We know the power of it, really. We really do, So you can see why it makes sense for one player to spend a lot of money sometimes. This is kind of like the CIS buy, the NIP buy. Certain teams have done this, the Doja buy, whatever you want to call it. Put all the stock into this one player, see if he gets 2 kills, or if he gets killed with absolutely no trade in sight. One or the other.
Som spotted a leg towards Ivy, so he tries to keep his eyes towards it. But that player's actually gone immediately all the way back over to the T-Con, where Bentet tries to line him up and knock him down. 1 frag for him at the moment. Som's actually going to steal it over the shoulder. Som in automatic, just flexing the ops at the moment. The same key to the defense for MIBR is that of Gen.g. The snipers are connecting. Som is climbing up the scoreboard, considering he had almost 0 frags at the start of the second half. He's doing well for himself now. He's picking up those pieces, and they're picking up those rounds, only trailing by 4 as we get the Brazilians back in with another gun.
It's really easy to track how many kills he's got in this half, because he only had 1 in the first half. So, yeah, he's definitely coming alive now. It's good that, the match doesn't end after that kind of rough start. And to see that he can still come through, I think it's good for his confidence. There's another kill from Som, and they stop this outside pressure in its tracks once again. MIBR seem quite adamant of trying this. After a couple of B-side attempts, they have kind of given up on that. But the entry's not going their way. They're risking it on a lot of these 50-50 duels. Stuff. Oh, he's good. Yeah, great
good
angle.
For one.
2v3. Uh-oh.
Oh, nice. Fallen, sick flick up, and he's going to have another chance. Dude, 3 snipers in this 2 versus 2. 3 snipers still standing here, and he has the patience. He just waits. Look at Psalm twitching at the fingers like a little rat stuck in the corner, and he can't get out. He doesn't know what to do. Fallen with years of experience just takes a deep breath, sips his martini, and waits for the eventual peak here from Psalm. Taco, he's looking to get back that bomb. There it is. Fallen bests him, trying to figure out this last frag. Automatic going to take the place of his teammate's corpse, and that's going to give him the back of Fallen. He knows where both players are. He executes the first, swapping over to the sniper, and Automatic big clutch as he comes in from between the trains to take Gen.g to 10.
Yo, that's sick from Timothy Two Titties Taw, baby. That's so nice. Well done. He's got that initial kill. He lines up the second one perfectly. He wastes no time in between. This man has things to do. He's tired of taking notes. That's beautiful. Wow. Nice attempt though from Fallen.
I would like to bring this up, okay? A little conversation about movement and ladders specifically. Yesterday on a cast, you brought something up that Thorin agreed with, and that was like, more developed movement in Counter-Strike, something along the lines of like if we had movement acceleration in the air, etc. And I tried to bring up another point that I love talking about when it comes to Train, and that's the verticality of both of the bomb sites. You see Fallen in that last round using the ladders to go for those jump peaks, right? You climb halfway up, you dup out, and he gets this flick up into the office. There's no other map in Counter-Strike like Train when it comes to vertical angles by climbing on top of things or movement tricks because of ladders. I think another good example other than what Fallen just pulled off is Floppy on the B site of Train as well. Constantly using that vertical movement, and man, it's just my favorite thing to watch.
Yeah, definitely, and you can tell which players have good movement, because like players who have bad movement are not good at ladders, because that's kind of the most intimidating thing for players who are learning movement to learn. You can see players like Cirque, like Electronic, like Rops, they all have really good ladder movement, and yeah, it shows. And yeah, no, the sad part is though, they've nerfed ladder movement, the speed of it, and even Train. If you go look up this video that I did with Blastava, well, he did, it's called All of Train. You can see what good ladder movement looked like back in the day before they nerfed the ladder movement in CSGO. They nerfed the ladder speed so that the animations would look better.
How dare they? Look at Gen.g, rock solid hold. I mean, blink it, you miss it. 5 frags across the kill feed instantly. No deaths for the defense either. So we're going to have to start focusing forward on what's to come, because sure enough, just like our previous last 2 maps, we get these blowouts in the first half with incredible performances. And I would say individually, this first one from the Brazilians was the most dominant in terms of K&G and Fallen. Yet still, we fall back to a near-tied score. It's only going to take 2 more to secure 15 for MIBR, but Gen.g, they're now within 2 themselves.
Now's not the time to revere Gen.g too much. Give them too much leash, let them be too comfortable, because they are looking like they're ready to go at this point. MIBR, it doesn't seem like it's not as if they're not trying, but it feels like they're risking it all for these really random 50-50s. I guess the way that they look at this, if it's an odds game, if they try these crazy entries outside a few times, they win one of those rounds, they're in a powerful spot. But so far they haven't won any of them. Gen.g's outside defenses has been stolid. And yeah, of course there's always a chance 2 people could die to 1 peak. It's just not looking like that's the case right now. So let's see if MIBR can work together and work a little bit harder to try to manufacture that opening kill, as opposed to just swinging on E-box and saying K&G, go kill.
Closest they've gotten was that outer play when Fallen and someone else got clutched on by Automatic. So let's see if they can get it at the A site yet again. Song finds one, Bentet activates, nobody down the ladder to stop him. No Molotov to flush him out, nothing. Disjointedness in the timing. Like, moments earlier, they could have come out from T-Con, and we would have seen Bentet flustered by the utility that was 100% being thrown down on him, or Taco jumps down the ladder as the players come out with T-Con, even without utility, to at least blindside it or something. But just disjointedness is the word I'd use to describe these last few rounds.
Well, like, they need to molly the ladder if they're not going to have Taco come down. You know, he takes some damage, he baits some tension, so maybe half the time Bentet's waiting for that drop, and then they're like, I'm sure they agreed on this, right? I'm sure that Taco is not the type of player to be like, told them he'd go down ladder and didn't do it, but still, he's not having any impact by being up top if they're going to cross outside and Bentet can just peek freely, especially when Taco cuts noise like that, so... You know, what needs to happen is either the T's that come out of T-Con need to throw a molly into the ladder to push him forward into Taco, which would have been perfect, or they guarantee they get that kill before they go outside, because that was the worst version. leave Bentet there, have him scrape a few health points off of Taco at the top of the ladder, and then allow him to fight T-Con for free.
What's the play, boys? MIBR going to come in with the buy. Fallen's going to be limited, so no op in play. They're just going back to where they started their T side, on the rifles. They're about to lose their lead if they can't close this one. And then it's anybody's match. And that's something I would have never expected after the complete and utter blowout of a first half.
Yeah, we said that 3 times today. We have said that 3 times today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't understand. I haven't seen lopsided CT sides like this since before the Krieg nerf. Like, have we gone back in time?
Something's broken, but I think it's user error, you know, which is the sad part. It's yeah. Humans are broken right now. All right. Well, a little bit love to Ivy might be what they need to do. I'm kind of glad to not see them trying to just force the issue on T-Con once again. They are a very good Ivy taking team. This is a part of the map I feel like they have really laid claim to since the SK days, and have showed other teams how to be a nuisance on Ivy and have made it part of outside. So here they put the presence down to draw CT presence, and hopefully, I think in their eyes, they can now read the outside setup a little bit better. Where do Gen.g fall into outside? Psalm's back against 5, watching Ivy, and we've got Kusta in the same spot as he was last time.
And still Bentet inside the ladder room. So he's going to keep Taco back. Psalm collateral. What perfect timing for Psalm to pick up the collateral. He stops them. And now he even hits the leg shot. G dodges, but Psalm hits him. A follow-up. This is ridiculous. Talk about a return to form. Psalm was getting bullied like it was a playground in that first half, and now he is just laying down the law. 13 rounds apiece. Gen.g tying this up. I mean, there's no reason to think MIBR are going to break through this. I swear we have another comeback.
He said, yeah, we had more... Well, yeah, I mean, like, the score is tied right now, but who's won more CT rounds? Who's won more rounds in this half, I should say. That's clear. It's Gen.g. Psalm has over 1 KPR in this half. To put that in perspective, that's a 1 kill per round. In the first half, he had 1 kill in the half. So, yeah, this is the greatest bounce back since LeBron's hairline. It doesn't look like it's going to slow down. That offing looked unlimited.
Yeah, look, even when they get close, even just with these pistols, they've managed to get close, but whoa, this is not the round for them to lose. Oh, not like this. Psalm's still standing with Daps on site. G falls back, 3 health, that's it. And they have that route to the B site. They find timing. They skate away all the way into inner. Oh, I spoke too soon. I jinxed it again, I think. This was the CT side that just didn't stop giving, and now MIBR break through because of a handful of CZs and Deeks. It's like somebody reached into the crack of the couch and just pulled out whatever they could. MIBR take that and somehow, or not, manage this round. There is still time for the retake. Flank's going to be coming in quick. Both Daps and Psalm with kits. Daps, if he wants to try it, he needs 2 kills real quick, but he second guesses his chances, and I understand why. MIBR rotate in time, a 14th round on the board for them, but how consistent can this be?
It doesn't need to be is the problem. Again, you know, like if you can win a round like that, anything's possible. Now, this was still winnable. I actually feel like Daps should have just gone for the kills and tried to get as many kills as he could there. That's a flash in the pan for MIBR, and Gen.g definitely have built up a pretty good economy, particularly on Daps. But I guess he does see, you know, 3 rounds to go, and you could lose all of it, so plays it safe. I guess it's better to err on the side of caution from that perspective. It was an extremely clear cut. Gen.g trying to catch a rotate. Wow, he does do that. Bentet. That was a thorn in the side for MIBR, getting ladder room control every single round. Taco had no way to deal with this guy, and now he won't have to.
Yeah, K&G takes the responsibility instead. Taco's still a little hesitant with it.
He could have dropped down like a long time ago. PTSD.
It's like even with Bentet dead, man, he still lives on.
So,
but here's KNG at it
we got
again.
2 outside.
Oh. Is that enough for you to go down ladder yet? Taco still doesn't go down. Everybody else is gonna push past. They're taking the A site by storm. Automatic. He's still got this very crucial line of sight, but one player gets crossed. Ooh, fur close trade frag. That's good. MIBR finding their 15th. They've done it. They were playing with our hearts, playing and pulling on the strings of our emotions, and now they go ahead and take it. But the question is how? The answer is KNG again. That op finds fruition here in the 28th round.
Yeah, the opener and the closer. Good to see KNG popping off. MIBR. It didn't feel like they were they had any control in this half whatsoever. You could see it just by how scared Taco was. You know, he didn't believe it. He didn't believe that this kill meant anything. He didn't believe that this kill meant anything. He was not ready to help with this outside exec.
It's almost comical that even after the second kill, Taco's just crouched in box halls. Like, no, he's in there, man. This is like PTSD from a half of Bentet.
Taco, no one.
I'm telling you, man, he's in the walls.
The ghost of Bentet, Hansel, the gingerbread man. He's coming.
Double off setup here for MIBR. What could be the final round, but if we've learned anything today, it's that sometimes it takes 30. So, Gen.g with that rock solid buy. As you said, you know, Daps calling off, that's actually crucial because he now bottomed out that bank account, so they most certainly needed all of the money in the world. Oh no, KNG! Dude, that's a ton of fire damage, yet he still takes Kusta.
Damn, Kusta, big risk there. I mean, them calling out the molly is one thing, though. They didn't expect him to be on the other side of it, but he was taking making a play to try to get some very important map control off of that Molotov. I didn't think wanted to take a fight whatsoever because of that shadow disadvantage fighting T-Con. Just wanted to get close up against the wall in case they wanted to go there. And Bentet, he'll drop a smoke down the push back. That's a tag on one player. Som comes in. 3-on-4 situation. KNG. Oh, no. No way he wins that, dude.
19 health, but Daps, Daps does it dirty, and Bentet gets the op back in his hands. Gen.g have done it, a 14th on the board, 30 rounds up, 30 rounds about to come down. And where do we end? I mean, MIBR at least willing to split the points. Counter-terrorists taking their 3rd timeout. They could actually double up timeouts here if they want another 30 seconds. They're going to calculate their buy on each side, and I don't know where this one ends. I don't know where this wacky, wild round of Counter-Strike began tonight. I don't know how we got here. I don't know where we are, but I've loved every moment of it, Mohan, and we've got 1 round left, my friend.
I think it's been pretty fun. I don't think that anybody deserves anything except for Gen.g in this tie. I think at this point they've earned their way back. Som 16 kills after a 1-kill first half. Opping has been great. CT setups have been fine, and MIBR's T side looks basically flaccid, honestly. Very uninspired with the way they're attacking outside, relying heavily on G to do everything. He's up to 31 kills. And yeah, Fallen's been kind of quiet since the first half, I think. I don't want to call that too soon, but yeah, 21. Actually, I think he had like a 14 kill first half, maybe, so maybe not that bad.
Flash pops in the face of G.g, but he doesn't even look away. Som's going to get tagged up a little bit here. This could fluster him back. The fire went Fallen, almost lining up a second body, but Bentet bests him quickly with the headshot. We're getting the exchange of utility, and it looks like MIBR, with all of this distraction serving on the opposite side of the A site, want to slip out from ladder. Som's got the cover of the site. Bentet's tucked behind Ivy Train, and Som's going to miss the first shot here as he attempts to hold Fur taking the train, and Som taking him back. Another! Som doing it all! A third! He is unstoppable on this A site. He wants this tie, and Taco dies. They take it. Som, one frag in the first 15, and he closes with an incredible